Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Counter. Mike here. Currently right now, I feel a little old. I'm in a mall. And for some of you, the younger generation, malls are where people used to buy stuff before online.
Oh yeah.
But we're at Piqua, Ohio, and we're at the Piqua Comic-Con. Great little show. I have the really bad habit of the smaller the show is where I usually end up spending the most money.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I love it. It's a great crowd here.
Mm-hmm.
I've met so many amazing vendors here, and so much cool stuff. Like, it's amazing, like, seeing a lot of the either vintage items, the collector's items, the once in a while types of items that you're like, oh, you actually have that?
It's like, I can't not get it because I might not ever find this again.
Right.
One of the perks to doing this show for as long as me and Richard have been doing it is getting to meet people, and then over the years seeing them evolve.
Right.
Because the first time we met was years ago at Jim and Dan's comic and toy show. You were dressed as Princess Leia.
Yeah, back when Hera Arena was still...
Yes, that was the last thing Hera Arena ever did.
Really?
Shortly after that was when they completely just demolished everything.
Yeah, because of the tornadoes.
Yep. But that in itself was years ago. And after that, I took a picture, we talked to you, I've been following you on the socials.
Right.
First of all, please introduce yourself.
Oh, yes, hello, my name is Jessica, also known as Dayton's Damsel in Disguise. And I do charity cosplay work, and today we're doing a charity fundraiser for the local food bank here, and usually that's what I do. I do a lot of different cosplays and a lot of different characters and a lot of different fandoms, and show up to different events and try to fundraise or try to help a cause or anything like that.
And like I said earlier, that's one of the things I love about having doing this show for as long as I have, is when I met you, I started to follow you on the socials, and I saw not only your costumes evolve, but your work in the costume community evolve. Because I, too, am a part of a couple different costume charities. I love seeing more people get involved in stuff like that.
Yes.
And I have that. What is one of the great joys for you? Like when you don a costume, and not only just going to a show and like, oh, I'm just, but you're there doing good work.
What I really love is when I see people donate and knowing that it's going to help other people. Because I don't keep any of the profits or anything like that. It's 100%. It goes to whatever charity for that day. But one thing I really love is getting to see other people, getting to talk with other people. And especially if we're going, I haven't done this in a while, but whenever we go to the hospital visits.
Yes.
That is, I gotta say that's one of the hardest things to do, because you've got to have a really iron heart a little bit. You've got to not be able to cry, because you're seeing them in character, and you've got to be in character, because that might be the last time that they ever see that character, especially in the cancer ward.
That's one of the advantages I have, because I do different characters, but my go-to has always been Amy.
Yes.
I love Amy. That's one of the advantages I have, is I have that full-on helmet. Because there's been so many times where we've gone to a hospital or, like a personal visit, and to look at me out front, you don't see anything. Underneath that helmet, I am literally a bloody mess.
Oh, I know.
And I can't even imagine. It's got to be so hard for you.
It is. I gotta admit, unfortunately, I've had to do 2 funerals, and it was very hard. It was very hard, because you see those little kids when they're alive, and then you see what's left, and you're just like, that at least a little part of them was happy to see you while you were in that character, so they got to see that character. And that's the biggest thing. So I would have to say, if anything, that's the thing that has touched me the most. But unfortunately, due to COVID and everything, it's harder to do hospital visits and harder to do any of the kids who are really immunocompromised. And I don't want to put them at risk either.
No.
But that's why I do things like this currently, to try and help out with local things. Like today it's the local Piqua Food Bank. The last convention that I did, which was Jim and Dan's, it was the Fairborn one. I'm going to be doing the Lewisburg one on Friday, and I'm going to be there on Friday, and I'm just going to donate just for that day, just a little bit to their food pantry area, and just walk around. So I won't have the setup that I have here, which is usually how it is. It's usually this setup where people can get free pictures, and then I post them on my Facebook account, and I always have my business cards. I give out the little free coloring book pages. I give out other free little things, and if I do sell any of my pictures, it immediately goes to whatever charity I'm helping out with that day. So that's what I try to do, and it's hard getting back into it after almost 2 years of nothing.
Yes, it really is.
So it's kind of like starting over again.
Because it was rough. Because like during that time too, luckily, because you'll attest to this, the cosplay community is a very tight knit community, and what affects one person will affect a lot of other people. Luckily, being the community that we have, we were able to get in touch with people. It's like, well, we want to do the videos, and we're going to do videos and send them to the hospitals and everything like that. Something which I, as an individual, might not have known about.
Right.
But being at the huge community and family that we are.
Now, in 2020, like right almost at I'd say about April to June time frame, for a while, since I wasn't able to do all this, I was doing those personalized little videos for kids and just sending them to those kids.
Yep.
But I mean, that was just for a little while,
Yeah.
because it was honestly, I had to wait until I had enough kids for that particular character so I could get in it and do all of that.
I follow. I know how much work you put into it. For me, it's just like helmet. I have it. But I mean, everything you got going, that takes, and it costs money too.
It does. It's very expensive. But I also one thing that helps me out is I do have an Amazon wish list that's linked in my on my Facebook account, and I don't accept any like money from people, but I always love it if people could possibly donate like one little item here, one little item there, because it helps me out in the long run. Like this entire cosplay was a donation. This lightsaber was a donation. So this is how I'm able to do this particular character for something like this, and I'd have to say probably about $120 that eyeballing for today is how much we've probably raised. I have to count it out later, but so and it helps out other people, and I'm trying to get back into doing this again because it's been a while, and you gotta start networking again as well.
Yes. And please, because like I mentioned before, I follow you on the socials. I absolutely love the videos you do.
Thank you.
The one, the waitress from...
Hermione Bagua. I love Hermione Bagua.
Yes! I was just like, oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who does that
No.
cosplay.
And I not only do I love seeing those beloved obscure characters done,
Right.
and done so well. It wasn't like, I just threw on a pink skirt and no, you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, no, what I did was I took an old fire detector, painted that silver.
Yep.
And I did the Hermione Bagua from Dex's Diner.
Yep.
Which most people would be like, who's that? And I'm like, she's my girl.
Yeah. So again, I follow you, and you have great content. Where can the people at home watching and or listening find you on the socials?
On the socials, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, Dayton's Damsel in Disguise.
And I made that mistake. That's Damsel in Disguise, she is not in distress.
Yeah.
She is not in distress. This is no damsel in distress. A damsel in disguise.
Not in distress yet, but yes, Dayton's Damsel in Disguise.
Again, thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Like I said, it was one of those things where it's just like I've seen and known you, for years, and to see how much you've done is absolutely fantastic.
Well,
Inspiration.
thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome.